Chilly morning here in the Cape, and I've been told that we should be grateful that we're here this week and not last week, because last week apparently there was snow. It was freezing. So as cold as it is today, I think we should be grateful that we weren't here last week, because it has warmed up a little bit. But the sun is finally starting to show its face. Not sure where it is, but things are becoming lighter here in the mother city, and it's looking magnificent ahead of the State of the Nation address that's going to be delivered by our president at 7 o'clock this evening. And a lot of excitement here, because I am now joined by two people who are going to be in Parliament for the first time in their careers, in this Parliament I'm talking about, in this building. So the first person is the much spoken about Mmusi Maimane, who is the DA's parliamentary leader. Now he's going to be taking his seat in there for the first time. And also joining me here on the program is Professor Nhlanhla Kubisa, who is the Secretary General of the NFP. Gentlemen, new kids on the block, welcome. Good to see you on the program.
Morning, Len. Yeah.
All right. And Mmusi, also congratulations to you on your appointment. We haven't spoken since this big appointment for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a great privilege to be here, and I'm certainly looking forward to today.
Yeah, no doubt, because this is the start of, I think, what many people are calling something that's going to be a very vigorous and an amazing journey of history to be a part of within Parliament. How are you feeling?
I know everybody is ecstatic, and as a party also are very much ecstatic that we are here representing the people of South Africa. When we were campaigning vigorously out there, we said we want to serve our people at a broader scale. We're looking at the bigger picture. Our people don't have jobs. Our youth are unemployed. We have about 30% of our youth and even above who are unemployed at the moment. And the unemployment rate of the country stands at about 15.6%. Among women, youth in particular, is about more than 33%. Now, we expect a lot from the president to speak about these issues because they are very pertinent for our people. We cannot postpone them. We've got to accelerate service delivery as never before.
Yeah. Now, Mmusi, you've been very vocal about this as well, focusing on the youth. But I think what's more important for you is the economy and the state of the economy that South Africa finds itself in right now as the president delivers his State of the Nation address.
Absolutely. I mean, you can say what you like about rating agencies, but they give you an indicator of your ability to attract investment. And I think President Jacob Zuma has got a tough job in being able to say, how do we attract investment, both domestically and both foreign? Equally so, how do we instill a sense of investor confidence? And I think the chronic strike that just happened, every worker has a right to strike. The issue here centrally is whether you take leadership in the economy. You equally have to ask the question about infrastructure investment. And that's been part of the backlog that's happening. In municipal governments, you often find that infrastructure is not in place. And so when you look at all those variables, an increasing level of unemployment, South Africa becomes a difficult place to spend your money. So what we've got to be able to do, and what I hope the president will be able to do today, is stand and bring a sense of courage and say, these are the decisions that we're going to take. This is the consistency we're going to have. We're going to deal decisively with corruption. And when you put that to a South African who's sitting here and saying, I want to be involved, I want to start my business, or anyone who says, I want to invest in the business of South Africa so that we can create the requisite job, it becomes an important place to depart from, particularly. And so tonight, the president needs to set the tone for that. I think if he doesn't succeed in doing that, South Africa will face some very difficult years ahead.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we'll wait to hear what the president has to say. From your point of view, and let's talk about the NFP, because your leader is now also a cabinet minister, a deputy minister in a department. What is that doing within the ranks of the party?
No, fine. I've just said that when we were campaigning as a party, we said we want to serve South Africa at a broader scale. I mean, the structures of the party are looking at this, looking from the viewpoint of a bigger picture, that here we are as the NFP, we've got a chance now to serve in KwaZulu-Natal legislature and also in national parliament. We are speaking for all the people of South Africa now. But over and above that, our leader is a workaholic. She's there at the grassroots. Even this weekend, she was in Nongoma, Doom, and other places. I mean, she's with the structures all the time. We go out there. Within the NFP, we work as a collective. We want to serve the people of South Africa. We are saying we've got to be responsible as a country. I mean, the launch pad of the country is National Development Plan. We want to be part of it, but also at the same time, we are saying we cannot postpone that. We've got to accelerate service delivery. We are at the call phase of service delivery. The structures are embracing this, and they are saying we are there to work. We'll keep the profile of the party very high. We'll work very high. We are in opposition. We are working within the government, but also, I mean, our launch pad was our manifesto. What is contained in our manifesto, when we said we want our youth out there, when they come out of matric, to have at least a computer literacy certificate. We want them to get free compulsory education. We are still going to propagate that. We are saying as the NFP, we don't want corruption within the government. We don't want about 31 billion of the state resources that are not spent to serve the people of South Africa. We are still going to be vocal about that. We want to say that the people need houses, and we cannot postpone that. We still have to speak on them. They need decent housing, family houses. We don't need shacks. These are all the things that we're going to say as a party. So as the structures, we're focusing on service delivery, and of course, accelerating service delivery in a way that will ensure that the economy of the country grows. We cannot postpone it. The ailing mining sector, we've got to focus on that. And as at the NFP, this is what we're speaking about.
All right, okay. So no issues, as you're saying that your leader is in cabinet as well. So
she's in cabinet to serve the people.
She's in cabinet to serve the people. That's the official word from the NFP. Mmusi, if you look back at some of the promises that were made during the previous State of the Nation address, and we look at the progress so far, how would you say the government has done? Are these State of the Nation addresses something that we can rely on as an indicator of what the government does? Does it achieve this?
You know, there's an incredible line that, if you remember, in the February State of the Nation address, President Jacob Zuma said, I spoke about the last 20 years in general and the last 5 in specifics. And I think actually it was the other way around. We spoke about the last 20 in specifics and the last 5 in broad general. And this is where it is. When he started office in 2009, President Zuma promised us 5 million jobs. In the last 5 years, he lost 1.4 million jobs. When you look at even a more important address, equally so as the budget address, you look at our own economic growth. It's been coming at rates between 1%, between 2%. Now, nobody can deny the fact that growth isn't the only thing you need for jobs, but you certainly can't create jobs without growth. Equally so, when you look at certain other key components of President Jacob Zuma's administration, I think he was a bit scant on issues around corruption. He certainly didn't address those. And that's an important issue. You can't assume that South Africans don't care about corruption. They're worried about Nkandla. They're worried about that. I think our levels of inequality are on the rise. Yet there's certain departments that have done well. I think particularly if you look at the health sector, we can conclude that I think Minister Aaron Matsoaledi has put the job and has done a great job in that regard, and there's still a lot more work to do. But South Africa is a fascinating place. And so when I listen to the State of the Nation address, certainly tonight, it's certainly a reflection of government's program, at least in the 4th Parliament. But there's some glaring things that are missing that certainly the President is not going to go into. I mean, we can talk about monetary or fiscal policy. The long term of the issue is that where will the jobs come from? Will policy be coordinated? Will the President give leadership? And then without fail, can South Africa in fact grow at a rate consistent with other African countries to make sure we create the jobs?
All right. Finally, and very, very quickly, what is the NFP bringing to the table? What are you going to offer in Parliament that hasn't been here before?
Job creation. Make sure that you close the gaps of the inequalities. Make sure that we have women who are occupying high ranks within the job sector, not only in the public sector, but also within the private sector. A lot of women out there, especially in rural areas, still don't have jobs. They cannot create their jobs. When you say the government, you are coming with a small business development department, what is it that is going to do? You need to come up with the tangibles. To bring back the history of 20 years is not enough. You need to accelerate that. How do you make sure that the investor coming from another country, gets confidence to invest in the country? Bring in tourists. What is it that they get within the country? How to boost the economy? These are all the issues that we are bringing in the NFP. We are saying we're getting out there. We're saying that people need our houses. Yeah. They need clean water. These are the issues. The bread and butter issues. Our people cannot post. We don't need more of these service delivery protests. We need to bring a halt to that. All are the issues issues that they want to bring forth as the NFP and want to come sharp on that. And I mean, the president has got to take leadership. We've got to work cooperatively to ensure that we mobilize these resources out there, and even the people, even all the organs of state, and also the what we call the NGOs out there, to ensure that we work together as a unit, as a country, to take the country forward.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us here on the program. I told you it's going to be an exciting term in Parliament, and that goes without saying. Mmusi Maimane, you save that voice because you've got a lot of talking to do in Parliament as we enter into this fifth session of Parliament. He, of course, is the Democratic Alliance's parliamentary leader, and also joining us is Professor Nhlanhla Kubisa, who is the Secretary General of the NFP. Let's take a break. We'll see you after.